So month 1 of NoFap was pretty interesting. I noticed that my desires have evolved a little bit more into the center of where all the emotions come from, if that makes sense. It's like the spirit has taken over a lot more than just simple bodily reactions. First, we're a lot less sensitive to external stimuli the first couple of weeks. Maybe closer to the third week, everything starts to feel a little bit more normal. But what I mean by that is it's a lot harder to get aroused. Everything starts to feel a lot more like it doesn't really mean anything if it's just physical or if it's just mental. It starts to really align more with the totality. Each individual realm feels a lot more appropriate. I feel less reactive to things that would otherwise seem annoying. If somebody was silly, I seem to find women and children a lot more adorable than, say, if they were doing something that would just not make sense. It doesn't really feel like it needs to make sense. I'm more concerned with whether what I'm doing makes sense, and that doesn't really take too much time to figure out. Still get frustrated, and when I do, it comes in waves. So the first 2 weeks, I felt very excited, very energized, just to challenge myself like this for the video. But then it also felt very boring. There are times when it's like, what am I gonna do right now? So the motivation to have a meaningful existence starts to really rev up, and I feel very soft, very flaccid for a while. I mean, there's this. It's like the body is getting used to this alignment of energy, but the energy doesn't seem to really go anywhere. So it feels like it's being neglected. And then the temptations start to come in during the middle of the night, but it's that strong mental focus that keeps me going. That it's the curiosity. It's the curiosity and the goal. But there's times when you just feel like nothing. You'll start to. I'm not sure how women feel through this. I feel like this is a very human experience, but it almost seems like life just isn't worth anything without excitement or sexual stimulation. It's like everything get a lot of energy, a lot of excess energy for sure. And it's it's a bit overwhelming at times. Well, I can't say overwhelming is the right word, but it's like the energy just needs an outlet. So lifting weights, when I couldn't lift weights anymore because the gym started closing, I just spent a lot more time just getting creative and just running. Like I just randomly run because why not, right? Like just do it. You really there's also a feeling of a lack of fear of death. Not necessarily fear of consequences, but just want to shake things up and almost cause trouble, but not really for the sake of trouble, but just the sake of being heard and connecting. And that seems to go up and down. Though I feel a lot more calmer. I can feel when something is really just not a higher emotion versus a lower emotion. I don't feel fear for anyone I see. I do feel a lot more sensitive to women that I'm attracted to. It's like in my heart, just like almost like a cannon just hits me, and then all I see is this woman, but it's not even a fantasy. So I'm waving, I'm talking. It's a lot more of a I'm gonna enjoy what's real because nothing else is really there. Does that make sense? I don't feel like, I feel like we can cheat ourselves and out of the real thing to where we see it, we're not as sensitive to it, or we're overwhelmed by it and we just completely shun it away. And that's just not what life is about. It's about really experiencing everything that's relative to our life in a way like we're already looking back on it. And what better way than to be in tune with ourselves? That's my way to put it. So the first month, it's probably, I can't say it's the most challenging. I'm not really sure, but there's definitely times of challenge and temptation. And I think it makes people a lot more comfortable with us. 'Cause I felt like situations of doubt that I used to have before start to go away when it comes to really anything. It's like I'm either going to do it or I'm not. The energy just propels me to get active. I just feel like there's no what's when there's no cheating of the energy. It feels like the only thing I can do is just go do it. Like, okay, I'm not going to masturbate. I'm bored. Let's go out there and see what's out there. Start to find more women attractive, but I can also tell the difference between just being horny versus actually liking the person. Though the drive can get kind of strong, but that's only when we allow it. Children are a lot more adorable. It's something about being there before, but feeling a difference. It doesn't feel like I have to behave a certain way. A lot of times my energy just propels me to just be in my own space and appreciate it. There's waves of strength that go up and down. Some days I do feel kind of weak, but maybe it's because I'm sleeping better and it's hard to wake up. Not really sure. And some days I just feel very, very powerful. We'll have to take more time to experience that, but it's definitely, I think the real temptation comes with not making sure we don't sleep with a woman for the wrong reasons. Definitely feels like I can see an opportunity, but I have to. It's like a beast inside me is getting stronger, but I have to tame it. I have to I have to tame it towards the real goal, and I'm a little bit more aware of that because I'm not perverting my mind. So the drive just comes up, and that could be because I'm around people who I'm also aware of other people's sexual focuses. I can tell when there's a woman who's frustrated. It's not even just guys that are sexually frustrated, and I'm not sure if before we start to tame our energy that we feel like it's just us, feel a lot less of a victim with a lot of circumstances. Though there's definitely still some struggles with self-destructive urges. I feel like there's this part of me that just wants to just shake things up if I feel limited in some kind of way, but then I'm also more motivated to look at work in a different sense. And yeah, I'll actually be a little bit more productive without feeling like it's a drag. It's just more action. I feel more of a drive to tire my body out and really just do things I normally wouldn't do, face certain fears. It's almost like I need to feel something than just, and I feel motivated to go out there and find feelings. But rather than chasing feeling, it's more like a curiosity of, how far can I go? What will happen if I do this? And then it's like a flat line too. So it's not just, I think there's some fears about holding in this energy that will propel us to just be on edge all the time. And there's periods like that. There's definitely periods like that, though they tend to also happen after temptation. I'll notice more attractive women. I haven't verified whether I found these women more attractive or they're just more attractive, but there's definitely very attractive women that show up. But it doesn't feel like there's any real barrier there. It feels like there's a there's a there is a barrier, but it feels like it's more of a courage type of thing rather than a frustration. It's probably purely biological. Like I was saying in the last video, we can feel when somebody's healthy. There's a mental capacity that helps too. And I feel sort of selective with my energy, but I also don't feel like I don't feel like destroying things or labeling people bad things. I really just feel more like going into what I really care for. Though definitely the hardest times are when there's any kind of slight slip up in focus. It's like, am I talking to this woman because I'm attracted, like to who, like fully, or am I really just feeling the energy and can I allow, that's the big one, can I allow some sexual energy even though I see other faults? And to be honest with you, that's really the part of the surf. Because I learned we can't just only talk to the top notch people. I mean, nobody's really fitting that. Everybody has bits and pieces, but the beauty of it is being able to accept it all in a larger scheme of things, and that's where that expanse comes in the mind and appreciating more variety of life. So everything definitely feels like there's more meaning, and yet things also feel like they're challenges. And I think the number one thing that gets me through it is just being concerned with like four things. Really not working too hard because there's still a limit. A lot of this energy can hype us up beyond our own threshold, and then I'll have to sit back and get into my comfort zone. And yeah, there's definitely a lot of potential stress there. There's times when I need to unwind and relax. And that goes back to not chasing things that are out of our control, not chasing women, not chasing, I definitely put myself out there to have some fun, but I'm also aware of my goal. And that, again, that's that temptation cycle of I need to go out there, but I also need to be balanced with where I'm coming from. And that's been okay. I feel like I definitely could do better, but pulling myself away when I'm about to lie to myself and yet not being paranoid about it is all right. It's more like just remembering that the innermost sensitivity is my strength, and I have to maintain my strength. And whatever your strength is, go with that. Go with whatever. If you like numbers, if you like math, if you like making friends, whatever that is, and you're on this journey, that is going to be your go-to to to for your main focus. Just because you're gaining all this sexual energy and you're tied to driving this physical dimension doesn't mean that that dimension is the only dimension that you live in. You don't have to just be physical. These are just parts of it that help get things in alignment for me. And I feel like when you actually, I'd like to hear about some of you when you go on this journey, like how much does physical exertion have to do with how you deal with your sexual energy and your personality type. But definitely deconstruction, de decompression is a huge part of how I'm dealing with this energy. Taking time, taking it easy. This quarantine thing set up, I felt very, very reluctant to have to drive across country and just stay more isolated. So many people out there are sexually frustrated right now. You have a like definitely the social muscle is a part of it. Just saying hi, everybody just making sure we don't forget how to talk to each other. And that's actually not too bad. I got a couple of video projects I'm working on, and can't just do it all day. But yeah, definitely this energy gets used into whatever it is that we do. The I think women have found me a lot more attractive lately. I mean, either that or I've felt found life more attractive. It definitely feels more like a two-way street. Almost like if you're gonna talk to somebody, as long as you enjoy talking to them, they're gonna feel that, and how they handle that is gonna reflect how you handle that. So I'm just feeling like it's more of a mirror, and it's definitely been making a lot more sense. Lots of different cultures, lots of different people. Yeah, I think one of the biggest challenges you'll find when you make it past masturbation and make it past porn will really just be filtering sexual experiences. They open up. So be a little bit more transparent. I was in Savannah, Georgia, and that place is very, very friendly, very nice. Just like a big hippie town, a lot of music, lots of bars, lots of friendly people. You got some sketchy people too, but the ratio was pretty enjoyable. And I'm telling you that kind of energy out there, man, like it's very, very easy to forget about the goal and just have fun. I've been able to filter myself though. I've been able to not totally get lost in it, but still keeping it up. No masturbation, no porn, and no chasing women or stressful situations. The stressful situations part is that can get better. I feel like there's some stress in life, but just being aware that we're not. I feel like the point where we're chasing is when we deny how we feel. When we just start feeling like crap and we feel used, and yet we still put ourselves out there to attain whatever that is. It's just not worth it. And yeah, I've definitely made sure I kept that up. And I think a big part of this that I failed to mention was ejaculation. We want to really try not to ejaculate. And I mean, even with wet dreams. So, this is also a part of this challenge that I'm undertaking. Requires meditation before going to sleep. And that way we're more in tune with our unconscious thoughts, and we make that choice not to let go, even through sexual experiences. Whether or not we fully engage in those sexual experiences, I mean, that's definitely a part of it. Only hesitation comes from knowing that when you go through this journey, you're gonna meet people you find attractive, whether you're male or female. You're going to become more attractive for sure, and you're gonna notice that your situations are a lot more in your control. And I don't mean like your manipulative control, but I mean like in an honest expression that this is really something you're enjoying and it's happening around you naturally. Just as natural as for us to drink water, it's natural for you to go and bond with somebody. But knowing that that's somebody you're going to stay with, or whether you're going to lie about it, the confidence definitely goes up. There's really no need to lie, even to ourselves, about it, or to try to accept or even try to fight or ruin someone else's confidence. There's definitely a competitive energy though. the energy really gets very competitive, and it feels like it's easier to not shy away from a challenge. Like, you know, just about any challenge that shows up just starts to make us feel more alive. Though that's something that I feel like is will really make the bulk of this. Though now some people they go through their sexual experiences on this journey without any kind of, I don't want to say any kind of hesitation, but they don't mind letting go of their energy, but as long as they're not cheating it. And I feel personally that I will be cheating it with a person that I'm not married with. So I'd like to keep harnessing more and more, even of my energy to, as I was saying before, not be turned. Now, I still get turned on by women that are built a certain way and don't have a deep connection to me that I can feel, that I can see. And I notice that I'll be more in tune with my own vibe, my own energy, but being able to reassociate the sexual attraction from the body into the mind, I'm aware that that emotional attraction is really just coming from me, reflecting upon myself, but not acknowledging in the other person. And that's improving. Though I feel maybe it'll be better next month, but yeah, being able to recognize that there still is a fallback on that. I mean, I meet a woman, she looks great, and she's tolerable. And there's some mental stimulation there. But as far as longevity is concerned, it feels limited. I can see limitations very clearly, but there's still sexual attraction. So that challenge right there is for me to allow my sexual attraction to propel me to something eternal and not just something enjoyable for the time being. And that may just come from that mental filtration of not denying the feelings, but just owning up to what all of that is and channeling that, almost taking ownership of the energy exchange. I think when we see someone that we're physically attracted to, but we're not emotionally enjoying ourselves with, but more like we're able to enjoy ourselves around. I feel like the sex comes, we're really just trading the energies in a way, like the physical energy is being exchanged, but the emotional energy is being held back. So that in a way takes from each other. And then we end up both just coming out with less energy. There's some benefits though. We do become more relaxed after the engagement, after the animal act, but we also have still have that issue to tame of sexual attraction without eternal universal truth, and that can still lead to a downfall. So just being mindful of that, ready for the next month, ready to see how much more strength comes through. And I gotta say, there's a lot more strength in being able to relax. In a way, I see that as a feminine strength, relaxing and playing, as opposed to the masculine of being able to like harness and expand, to maintain and expand, being able to let just cleanse the self. And I feel like in this evolution, that energy has become very, very necessary. And perhaps the woman that I would marry would just be reflecting this in me. The more that I'm able to do it for myself. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, lots of good insights have been coming as well. Definitely gonna spend more time with this feminine and masculine balance of this sexual evolution. Something about having more of this masculine energy growing requires a feminine balance in which I gain respect for and gain a vision for in my partner, wherever and whoever that is. So until next time.